Hey, all you gamer gremlins, you can call me ATN, and welcome to the first ever StageDoody tutorial. Today, we are going to install Daggerfall, Dagerfall Unity, and we're going to install some mods into Daggerfall Unity. I've been getting some questions from people about what mods I've been using, and they're using the old vanilla Daggerfall, and hey, why doesn't my game look as good as yours? Well, I'm going to show you how you can have that on your machine and enjoy the latest and greatest for yourself. So the first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to go to the www.dfworkshop.net. This is the home of the Daggerfall Unity group. And at the time of this recording, they just released Daggerfall Unity. It's gone beta 0.11.0. So all of the features are in. From here on out, it's just bug fixes. So good news from that. So what you want to do first, before you can use Daggerfall Unity, you have to have some semblance of the vanilla game installed on your machine. Now, if you have the discs left over from days gone by, that'll work. I have been using the unofficial Elder Scrolls Pages version that uses DOSBox and the Eye of Argonia and all the patches and everything. You could do that, or you could do this. The Daggerfall Unity group has set aside just what Daggerfall Unity needs to run. It's called DaggerfallGameFiles.zip. And if you click on that and download that, DaggerfallGameFiles.zip, this guy right here. And what you want to do is you want to go to, let me open up another folder here. What you want to do to install this part is you want to find the game folder you want to install it into. For me, I'm going to put it on my G drive. You can put it on your C drive just as easy. I'm going to put it in Games, Bethesda Softworks, because traditionally that's where the original game used to make its home. And I'm going to copy the folder over here. And I'm going to make another folder in this folder. I'm going to call it Daggerfall. And we're going to put our zip file in here. And then we are going to, using our 7-zip or whatever zip extraction tool you like to use, we're going to extract files here. And it will take the contents out and put it in this folder right here. And we're going to, now you can get rid of your zip file. We don't need it anymore. It's just taking up space. Okay. And just like that, bam, we have enough of the vanilla game that Daggerfall Unity can run. And that's all it takes. Really nice. The next step is we have to install Daggerfall Unity. Well, as time goes on, when you go to this page, this information is going to change. Currently, right now, the latest alpha is 10.28, which is pretty much the final alpha. And the very, very first beta, 11.0, is just released if you're going to install Windows. I'm sure there's a way for doing it on Linux, doing it on Mac and whatnot. I have Windows 64. That's what I'm installing it on, so that's what I'm doing the tutorial for. You would click on that. You would download the item. And then what you would do is you go back to your Daggerfall folder here. You create another folder. And we're going to call this Daggerfall Unity. And inside our Daggerfall Unity folder, we're going to create another folder. And we're going to call it the version number of what we're using. So in this case, 0.11.0. And in this folder, we're going to copy our zip file. I'm going to drop it in. We're going to use our zip tool of choice, and we're going to say extract files here. And then we are going to delete the zip folder for we don't need it because it is just taking up space. All right. At this point, we have a basic installation. Let's close some things down. Now, another thing I would suggest to do, we should probably right-click this and say make a desktop shortcut just to make life easier on ourselves. And then we can close this. Let's just minimize this for now. Where did it put it? Put it over here. I'm going to stick it back up here. And then we run Daggerfall Unity. And it should fire up in a very vanilla state. So at this point in time, the game is basically asking us, where is the vanilla files? So we want to, wherever we ended up putting it, on your machine it might be different, but where I put it was on my G drive, was in Games, Bethesda Softworks, Daggerfall, and then click on Arena. So now it's figured it out, it's turned green. When it gets to this point, it's happening, click OK. Alright, we're going to make a couple of choices here. I'm going to just say this, I'm going to go green, I'm going to say blue. Next. Alright. Okay. And there we have it. We've effectively installed Daggerfall Unity. Let me get into advanced and fix the volumes here a little. Oh, a little bit of music. We'll fine tune all this in a moment. But for right now, understand that there are some choices to be made. You know, it's all up to you how you want to set up your configuration. But this first page needs to be configured. Gameplay needs to be configured. Interface needs to be configured. Enhancements need to be configured, and video needs to be configured based on what you're going to do. And we're going to get into more in depth than that in just a moment. Basically, this is a functional vanilla version of Daggerfall. Okay, so once we've installed the game once and gone into game, played it a little bit, made a character, it should have fleshed out all the other INI files it needs to run itself. Now, these files are kept in a separate folder than the Daggerfall folder that we originally installed back over here, back in this Unity folder. So C users, whatever your login name is. For me, it's ATN575. App data, which is the hidden file. Local low, and then Daggerfall Workshop. So if we were to back this up a little bit, we'll just go to local low. And we see now there's a new folder that was just made now, Daggerfall Workshop. And then there's a Daggerfall Unity folder in that. And in that, this is where your game saves are. This is where your screenshots will be kept. And a bunch of other things. But we'll get to that in a moment. Now that we've located this folder, just for the sake of making things easier later, we should send a link to our desktop so we can get to this particular folder later. It'll come in handy. We'll put that up there by our other stuff. Okay, so we've installed Daggerfall. We've installed Daggerfall Unity. Technically, you could play the game, and it's a much more stable and bug-free experience. But we could do better. We have mods. Okay, now that we've got a fully functional but vanilla version of Elder Scrolls 2 Daggerfall installed on our machine, the next thing we need to do is we need to mod it. We need to make it better. So we need some mods. One place to get mods for Daggerfall Unity is over on the nexusmods.com site. We're probably going to get the lion's share of the mods we're going to use today from that site. Another site you can go to is the Daggerfall Workshop forums, forums.dfworkshop.net. Some mod authors are on both. Some are only on one. Some might be on yet a third site. Your mileage may vary. But for our purposes, we're going to get most of our stuff off of the Nexus. The first mod I want to take a look at, and this is probably going to be the more complicated of the three, is the D.R.E.A.M pack. Let's take a look. The D.R.E.A.M pack is basically a let's just use their words. This mod remasters all of the Daggerfall audio and visual assets. There are many assets that this pack fixes. Well, maybe not fixes, but improves. It'll definitely improve the graphical quality of the game, making it more of a modern game than anything. To get this mod, simply go to the Files folder, find the download that corresponds to the operating system. For our purposes, we're looking for the Windows one. It also comes in Linux and Mac. Click on the manual download for that operating system, and I've already downloaded this to save us some time because it is a rather large download. And what we want to do is, using your zip tool of choice, open the archive. And the first thing you want to do with any Daggerfall Unity mod is look for the mod author's instructions. It's usually in the zip folder. In our case, in big bold letters, installation guide for Windows. We'll open that up, and it says the first thing we need to do is copy the mods folder, the spell icons folder, and the presets folder to a particular location. Let's take a look here. There's a mods, a presets, and spell icons. So those three folders. Now, where do they need to go? Daggerfall, Daggerfall Unity data, streaming assets. Okay. So that is going to be the original place that we installed Daggerfall Unity. And that is going, for me, that's going to be on my G drive. Games, Bethesda Softworks, Daggerfall Unity, and the 11.0 for the version number. So Daggerfall Unity data, Daggerfall Unity data, and then streaming assets. So in this folder, mods, spell icons, and presets needs to go. Mods, presets, and spell icons. And if we just drag and drop, give it a little time, replace, that's the spell icons, replace these, and we're done. So now those items are in here. Now, just real quick, we're going to spend most of our time probably in this mods folder of the streaming assets folder. This README is in there from the Daggerfall Unity. Please copy any .df mod packages into this folder. So anything that has a file extension df mod, generally speaking, rule of thumb, is going to go into this mods folder. 9 times out of 10, you're going to be putting stuff in there. D.R.E.A.M is a rather robust mod, so it has lots of moving parts, so it's going to be putting things in other folders as well. Okay, so let's look at the instructions. And we have something to do in game just to make sure the D.R.E.A.M packages are set to enable, done. Now, there's another part of installing D.R.E.A.M that's unique to D.R.E.A.M. I don't think any other mod needs this, but the Reshade. The Reshade's a little bit extra, and I went to such an extent that I extracted the Reshade folder out of the zip file on purpose. And here is the Reshade instructions. All right. Start the Reshade setup 4.8.2 exe. That's this guy right here. Okay, so we double click on that. It opens this box up. Click the gray button. Click here to select a game and manage. Click here to select a game manage. So this is that top part. Okay, and it'll scroll through all the games you have on your machine. We don't care about what comes up. We want to browse. And then we want to browse to where we have our Daggerfall Unity exe, our game executable. So that for us is going to be my G drive, games, Bethesda, Unity, 1101, Daggerfall Unity. Okay, open that. Next choice is what kind of DirectX are we going to use? We want the 10, 11, 12. So the 10, 11, 12. All right, let's just move this around a little bit. Okay, so select effect packages to install. There's 3 that we want to install. We want to install the standard effects, the suite FX, and legacy standard effects. So here's the standard effects. That's got to have that. Suite effects is already selected, but we scroll down to the bottom. Legacy standard effects, we got to click that ourselves. All right, and click OK. And there it goes. Always select all and then click OK. So check all, check all. We're good. And then uncheck all, check all, and we're good. Done. You may now close this setup tool or click this button to edit additional settings. Okay, so we're done. So we can red X this. All right, that's it. So the next part is we need to move a couple of files into another folder. Okay, so we need to move the D.R.E.A.M 2020 R3 Prefer looks and the D.R.E.A.M 2020 Prefer Performance, these 2 INIs, to the same folder where your Daggerfall executable is, which is, back up one, this folder right here. So this item and this item, these 2 INI files, they need to be copied into the same folder of our main Daggerfall Unity install. Okay, these will become more apparent later. Okay, to open up the Reshade menu, we simply press Home, and it says it right up here on our keyboard. After we've opened up the Reshade menu, top we also click on Skip Tutorial right here. At the top, you can see the Reshade preset. Click it. This is where we're going to choose which preset we're going to use. Remember those INI files we moved earlier? We're going to use one of these as our presets. I'm going to use the Prefer Looks. And then click Select. And that will add this combination of items. And to get out of this menu, simply select it and hit Escape. And we're out of the menu, and now we've set up the shaders for the D.R.E.A.M package. Another thing you might want to do before we fire it up is go into mods. Now we have mods listed, and just make sure that each one of them is indeed enabled. That is a good, if you decide you don't like a mod or you're troubleshooting to see if 2 mods are incompatible, you can disable a particular mod and go back in game and see what's different. It's a good troubleshooting tool. So everything looks like it's in there right. We'll save and close. We're not quite out of the woods yet. There's a couple other configurations we need to make. Remember our list of things to do from the D.R.E.A.M page. They recommend a couple of other items that need to be taken care of. Okay, so I'll let you go through their list of recommendations for all the configurations on each of these interfaces. It's pretty self-explanatory. Just pretty much put them to what you feel they should be at. And once you've completed that, we can close. And we could go into Daggerfall Unity and see the difference. All right. So we're going to load up our previous save that we had before. Remember what it looked like vanilla. Now let's take a look. Now notice the campfire is still pretty vanilla pixelated, but now it's got a little halo glow around it, which it didn't have before. And look at all the walls, the tree, the floor. And now if we go into our interface, it's a whole lot better than it was previously. Let me equip some of this stuff. Yeah, there we go. And if we look at our paper doll, the interface looks a lot better. We go into our spell book, etc., etc. Now, there's still a couple of things that Daggerfall, the Dream package, didn't take care of, like these campfires. So we need another mod to fix those campfires. Now, the next mod I want to take a look at is this hand-painted model replacement. Hand-painted model replacements replaces the furniture, the fire pits, the tables, the chairs, the beds. Get a better look at here's the before and here's the after. It makes D.R.E.A.M even better. D.R.E.A.M creates the better environment. Hand-painted models fixes the things in the environment. So we need to go to the Nexus, find hand-painted model replacements, find our Windows version. Again, there's a Linux and a Mac version. We want, for our purposes, we want the Windows version. Manually download, and I've already taken the liberty of manually downloading it. Open the archive with your zip archive opener program of choice. Mods. And we're looking for the instructions. Here's one. README, hand-painted models. What's it say? Download it and open the folder that matches your operating system. We've done that. Copy the hand-painted models main.df mod, hand-painted models treasure piles.df mod, and hand-painted models buildings.df mod into your Daggerfall Unity streaming asset mods folder. So remember we were talking earlier about more times than not, if it's using a .df mod, it's going in that mods folder. Well, here's another example of that. So we've got 3 items that need to be extracted back over to our main Daggerfall Unity folder. So we want our Daggerfall Unity data, streaming assets, mods, and we're just going to drag and drop those 3 items right into there. Mods installed. So let's close it up and let's see what changes we made. One other thing we need to check before we can go in game and see. Now that we have more than one mod, another thing that's important is the load order by which the mods are started when the game starts. Now you'll notice just innately, I think we got lucky. It looks like all the D.R.E.A.M items are starting first, and then the hand-painted models are starting after. Should probably have the hand-painted models main above, and then these will, so basically it's whatever's at the top of the list gets loaded first, whatever gets loaded next can potentially overwrite the first thing that was loaded, and so on and so on and so on. So if there's a conflict, that's how it resolves the conflict in the load order. If you install a mod and it doesn't seem to quite work right, see in what order it is and move it up and down before, after other mods that kind of do the same thing. There might be a conflict between the two in that regard, and you just need to change the order in which the mods are loaded and applied towards the game. Again, you want to make sure that all the new mods that you're using are indeed enabled. All right, let's go in and take a look. Okay, so now we have, because we installed the second mod, look at that campfire compared to the first time. And doesn't it fit the surroundings just a little bit better than it did before? And even the grain, there's wood grain on the driftwood now. That all came from the second mod we installed. Let's take a closer look inside the dungeon to see what else we can see. Oh, there's a rat, and he's got beady little red eyes. Now, the second mod that we installed also enhanced the treasure piles. It enhanced the torches. It enhanced the little altars. Can't leave loot behind. All right, so we installed 2 mods. Can we make it even better with another one? Well, now that we've made everything look nice, now we need stuff to do. This is yet a different type of mod. It's a quest pack. Daggerfall Unity Quest Pack 1. So what basically this adds is more story to the game. It doesn't change anything graphically, but new things will happen in the game. This quest pack offers more than 100 additional quests to Daggerfall Unity, mostly for the game's guilds. The way you get this mod is you go to Files, and you download, I guess there is only one download, manually download it. I have already downloaded said item. As you can see here, the DFU quest pack. Right click and open it with our zip archive tool of choice. And there's instructions. Let's read them. To install, extract the folder QP1 into the Daggerfall Unity _data/streaming assets/quest packs in your original Daggerfall Unity installation. All right, so we know where that is. So G, Games, Bethesda Softworks, Unity, our version number, Daggerfall Unity data, streaming assets, and that needs to go into Quest Packs folder. And here's our Quest Packs folder. And we just grab that whole folder and we just drop it on in. And that's it. That mod is now installed and ready to go. And there are many, many more mods that do many, many more things. You just simply have to ask yourself, what is my gameplay missing? And how do I make Daggerfall better? I'll have my mod list of what I'm playing with. We also have our resident mod author, Ralzar, who has a setup on one of his pages out on the Daggerfall Workshop forums. I'll keep a link in the description, and he goes into great detail of what mods he uses and what he likes. Figure out what you want, figure out what story you want to tell, and install the mods you like for your playthrough. The only wrong answer is the combination of mods that doesn't allow the game to start or breaks it. So, and that's about it. I hope this tutorial is useful to you. I hope it wasn't too long-winded. I look forward to see what the Daggerfall Unity folks do and the modding community do in the coming weeks and months to come. You folks take care, stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll catch you next time.